I remember the nights when my stomach growled louder than the silence in our tiny apartment, but I never let my son hear it. I would sit across from him at the little kitchen table, watching him eat with a smile, his eyes sparkling like nothing was wrong. "Mom, this is the best dinner ever," he'd say, swinging his legs back and forth like he was on top of the world. And I'd force a smile back at him, hiding the emptiness in my own plate. I skipped meals so my child wouldn't go hungry. It wasn't a choice, it was survival. Some nights, there was only enough food for one, and that one was always him. The pantry was bare more often than not. The fridge hummed quietly, more air than food inside. I sold things I loved just to keep the lights on and rent paid. My favorite coat, the earrings my mom gave me before she passed, even the old TV that kept us company on lonely nights. I told myself pride was a luxury I couldn't afford. What mattered was his full belly, his warm clothes, his smile. The paycheck never seemed to stretch far enough. Rent kept going up, hours at work kept going down. I picked up every extra shift, stayed late when they needed me, anything to keep the roof over our heads. But sometimes it wasn't enough. I still remember the call from the school. The balance on his lunch account was overdue. I locked myself in the bathroom afterward, crying for 15 minutes. I didn't want my son to see. He was just 7 and already asking why he never had snacks like the other kids, why he had to ask permission before pouring milk. The innocence in his eyes made my heart break a little more every day. There were days I walked to work instead of taking the bus just to save a few dollars. I clipped coupons for foods I couldn't always afford. I drank water and pretended it was a meal. I learned how to hide my hunger so well that even I started believing I was fine. One day, after dinner, my son offered me his last chicken nugget. I turned away so he wouldn't see the tears welling up. That moment hit me harder than any bill or eviction notice. He noticed. He saw my hunger and still wanted to share what little he had. I woke up dizzy one night and passed out in the kitchen. When I came to, my son was sitting next to me, wrapping a blanket around my shoulders. "You said you weren't hungry, Mom," he whispered. That broke me. I never wanted to worry him. He deserved so much more than a mom who couldn't even eat. After that, I looked harder for side jobs, cleaning, babysitting, errands, anything to bring in extra money. I wanted to make sure he never saw me like that again. I wanted to be strong for him. One day he came home from school with a big grin. He had won a contest for writing about someone he admired. When I asked who it was, he said, "You, Mom." He told me I was the strongest person he knew, that even when I was tired, I smiled, that I made sure he was happy even when life was hard, that he wanted to be just like me. Those words filled my heart in a way no paycheck ever could. He didn't know about the nights I went hungry or the tears I hid. He just saw my love. Through volunteering and helping others, I found a new job opportunity. It didn't pay much, but it came with meals and a little more stability. Slowly, I filled the pantry again. I no longer had to watch him eat while I starved. We still faced challenges, but I learned that strength wasn't about never falling. It was about getting up every single time. My son grew up knowing love that went beyond words. He saw sacrifice, resilience, and hope. At his high school graduation, when he spoke about me, saying I gave up everything for him, I realized the journey was worth it. The hunger, the tears, the sleepless nights, all for the purest kind of love. I skipped meals so my child wouldn't go hungry, and in doing so, I found the true meaning of strength and love.